Hi guys. Okay, so I wanted to do a quick video because next week is the bar exam on next Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you're in California, you get that a special day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I want to give you 3 quick tips about what you should consider when you go into the bar exam. And if you watch to the end of the video, I'm going to give you that bonus tip. So let's talk about it. Okay, tip number 1 is when you're going to the bar exam, it's so much on the line when you're going to take the bar exam, right? You're like, if I don't pass, I won't be able to get the job I want, or if I already have a job offer, I won't be able to start because I failed. What the first tip is to manage your anxiety, your nerves. More than likely, people get too overwhelmed by the idea of the bar exam, and that's what kind of sinks them. So I would say to do whatever it takes to calm you down. I know when I was taking the bar exam, I went and stayed in a hotel so that I can clear my mind, just think about only the bar exam for the next 2 days. I know right now we're in a pandemic and you may be doing it at home, or you may not be able to stay in a hotel. Whatever it is to make you calm yourself, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's to read a book. At this point, whatever you don't know, you're probably not going to know. So don't try to stuff your brain with information at the last minute. It's probably not going to stick. The days leading up to the bar exam, relax. Whatever you've done is what's going to be on the exam, what you're going to recall on the exam. But I would say that managing your anxiety levels goes a long way. It is an intense exam. A standardized exam in general is an intense exam, but having the ability to manage your emotions, your nerves, will help you to be able to recall all the information that you tried to stuff on in the last 6 to 8 weeks, right? So I would say that's tip number 1. Manage your anxiety and nerves before you go into this bar exam. You only want to have to take it once, but don't let that pressure of I only want to take it much overwhelm you. Okay, tip number 2. Tip number 2 is timing. The bar exam, just like many standardized exams, is a timed exam. You have a certain amount of time to do your essays, your multiple choice. If you're in certain jurisdictions, the MPRE. Pace yourself. It does you no good to give an A+ answer that you spent all your time on questions 1 and 2, and you didn't even have time to touch questions 3 and 4. I know you want to give it your best, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure you get all the points you can get because you've answered all of the questions. You don't want to have a situation where like, if they would have just got to these questions, they would have gotten these points. So don't be in, too much of a hurry. Pace yourself, but give yourself enough time to do the questions. And I would say when you look at the exam, look to see how many questions there are so that you won't feel like, oh, I only have 4 questions, and you spend the time on 4 questions and you're like, oh, when is question number 5 coming? You're trying to rush at the end. So kind of scan it when you first get it. I don't know if it's going to be a paper exam or on the computer, whichever it is. Kind of try to scan to see what you're working with and then say, okay, I have this amount of time. Kind of pay attention to your watch, wear a watch, or they usually have a clock in the room. Pay attention to it so that you can say, okay, when this is done, I have to move on to the next question. I can't stop and think about it any longer. Discipline yourself enough to know I have more questions to answer. I have more points I need to earn because you need a certain amount of points to pass the exam. Keep in mind, the idea is not to get the best. I know there's certain rewards or awards for getting the highest score in the bar exam. What you need to worry about is passing the exam. I don't think your goal is to try to get the highest exam score. You're going to get a bar certificate whether you got the highest score or the lowest score, in the sense that you got the minimum passing score. So time yourself so that you can at least qualify for the minimum passing score, and you can go ahead and practice law, which is the whole point of you taking the bar exam. Okay, question number 3. So if you are on this channel, I've probably said this before. If you watch my other video about how to take law school exams and also bar exams, it's going to be about issue spotting. The bar exam is designed to test your knowledge of certain issues and your ability to recall the law on it, right? So I would caution you to make sure that you are spotting issues, especially on the essay portion of the exam. If you go in and say, okay, they're only testing 2 issues, more than likely they're going to probably be testing more than 2 issues. So I would go back and try to find some kind of facts that resemble some kind of issue that you can say, oh, this is what they're trying to test. If you only find 1 issue in the essay, you miss issues for sure. The exam is meant to it's like everything but the kitchen sink. They're throwing a lot of things at you because they're trying to test a lot of information within a short period of time. Don't go in there and say, oh, I found the issue, and you answer the question and move on to the next question without identifying at least two more issues. So I would say issue spotting is important. You've recognized that back in law school. You're going to recognize it again on the bar exam. In life, when you're practicing, more than likely there's going to be more than one issue. If you go into the exam understanding that this is going to test more than one issue, your eyes are going to scan the facts to kind of pick up, oh, they mentioned that fact because of this issue. Even if they don't, as I mentioned in the first tip or second tip, I can't remember which one, timing. Give yourself enough time to think about the question, right? And once you finish that a lot of time, okay, I've thought about these issues and I've responded to move on to the next question. Issue spotting is important. It's always been important. It's going to be important when you go out into practice in the real world. So that's tip number 3. Stay tuned. I want to let you guys comment below. Where are you guys taking the bar exam? Because I know we have people from all over the country. What state are you taking the bar exam in? Are you taking more than one bar exam? I know some people, if you're in New York, you do New York, New Jersey. Who's taking the infamous California bar exam? I want to know. Comment below. Okay, so for those of you who watch to the end, here's a bonus tip. Okay, so when you're doing the bar exam, you're going to have breaks where you go and take a break after you take the exam. Do not talk about your questions and answers with other bar takers for multiple reasons. The number one reason is it's going to drive you crazy. Refer back to tip number 1 about managing your anxiety and nerves. Talking with other people and they're like, oh, I didn't know that was on there. They could be wrong. And what you do, you work yourself up about somebody who was dead wrong. So do not talk about it on the break. Tell them like, Even if it requires you just go off to your own little corner, if you're actually in person, go off to your own, don't talk to me please, because it will not help you. Also, you don't want to be accused of cheating or anything, so that would be a secondary reason. But the main reason would be to manage your sanity. It's the same thing in law school. Like, did you see that? The parole evidence rule? And you're like, I didn't do anything about parole evidence. Oh my God. And perhaps it might not have been testing parole evidence and this person has gotten it wrong. So that's my bonus tip. Don't talk about the exam or questions or what you answer to the questions in between the breaks. I want to say good luck to all the bar takers. Come back and tell me when you've passed in October when they come out the results. I hope to see you guys in the future videos. We talk about what to do post law school when you've gotten that bar certificate and you got your bar card and you're on the way to go. All right, good luck.